Hello, everyone who has joined us early. Thank you. We'll be just waiting and hanging out a few minutes for people to join. Thanks, everyone who's joined us. We're still a few minutes away from starting. We'll get started in about 4 minutes. In the meantime, we're just waiting for everyone else to come on live. Hello, everyone who's joined early. We're still a few minutes away. We'll get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. So you'll should have audio, and we'll start once everybody is joined. I see lots of people streaming in. We're about a minute or two away from getting started. We'll let those last attendees join. I see a few more people joining. All right, we're at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome to our Walmart free 2-day shipping live Q&A session. I expect some people will still be entering and just getting started. We're just starting the session. This is actually our third session dedicated to answering your questions about the program. Whether you're just investigating and considering it, or you've already opted in, you've come to the right place to get the answers you need. You'll simply type your questions in the question panel on the right side of your screen. You won't be able to see the questions from others. You'll only see your questions. And our experts from Walmart and our partner Deliverr will do their best to answer all questions relevant to the free 2-day shipping program in that panel, as well as discussing some of them here live. Some housekeeping: if you have any trouble with the webinar audio or video, try refreshing your screen. That usually takes care of it. Also, we will be sending this recording of this session to everyone after the session is over. So you can also review what happens then. Before we move to questions, we will be doing a brief overview of our program and also the Deliverr fulfillment solution. But I wanted to remind everyone, if you were not available and able to attend our program introduction webinar, you can still see the recording of that session, And you'll find the link for it on our website by going to marketplace.walmart.com. There's a banner at the very top, and just click that, and you can watch the longer session discussing all the details of the program. Without further delay, let's go ahead and get started. I want to begin by introducing our speakers for the session. That's me on the left, Lisa Wise. I work with the Marketplace channel and partner development team here at Walmart. And first, we're going to be hearing from Sid Sadhu, who's also from Walmart, and he'll be reviewing the free 2-day shipping program at a high level. And then we'll also hear from Michael Krakaris, co-founder of Deliverr, who's going to talk a little bit about the fulfillment service that they offer. And with that, I'll hand it off to Sid.
Thanks, Lisa. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the third of our Q&As. So, before we dive in, okay. Sorry about that. Before we dive in, I just wanted to start off with a quick introduction to the program and a quick overview for folks that haven't seen it before. So, here at Walmart, we're offering 2-day fast and free shipping is no longer just a nice to have in e-commerce. So we want to enable that for our sellers to be able to be competitive in the marketplace. And a couple of few key features of the program we wanted to talk about are the regional shipping settings. So this is where sellers can choose whether they can enable the program either across the board nationwide or for select regions at the state level. So in case you only have a couple of different locations that you're able to fulfill from, then you have the option to choose that and move forward at that point. The other big advantage of this program is that you get increased product visibility. So you show up much higher in search ranking, and you also get the availability to show up on the free 2-day filter when folks look for it that way. And the third item that you get is buy box prominence. So SKUs that have the 2-day flag show up much higher, and if it's a unique item, you'll definitely be on the top of that for the buy box. So there's 2 ways to opt in, and it all depends on how you want to do that. You can choose to ship yourself, and you can do this either nationwide or regionally, as I mentioned earlier. And this is an option for folks that have create their own fulfillment solutions or relationships with other 3P partners, and those are the folks that can opt in for the seller fulfilled option. In case you don't have that, then you have the ability to partner with our vetted 3P partner, Deliverr, and they offer 2-day nationwide fulfillment. You get instant access to the program, and Michael will go into more of this in a little bit more time. So how does this work? There's a couple of easy steps that you have to follow, and with that you'll be up and running. The first thing you want to do is check in Seller Center that your account is eligible. Once you go under shipping settings, you'll have the ability to see and opt into the program. That's step 2. And then once you opt in and are approved, this usually takes 24 to 48 hours. Once someone from our side has been able to review your performance, which we'll talk about some of the requirements in order to do that. And then you configure your shipping settings for the participating SKUs. You have the option to enable your entire inventory or a subset of SKUs. Once you've done that, you should go in and check that you have the free 2-day tag showing up for the SKUs that you've selected. And after that, you're good to go. You just log in from time to time, manage your orders, and you can track your performance to see how you're doing. And for folks on the Deliverr side, that's going to be handled by the team at Deliverr. So what are some of the eligibility criteria in case you decide to go with the seller fulfilled option? So you want to make sure that you have an on-time shipping and on-time delivery rate of 95%, And your valid tracking rate should also be higher than 95%. You also want to have a very low cancellation rate, less than 1.5%, a favorable returns policy, and you should have sold on the Walmart marketplace for at least 90 days or fulfilled a minimum of 100 orders in order to qualify. So with that, let me hand it over to Michael. So he'll talk about a little bit more of the specifics of the Deliverr program, and then after that, we will open it up for Q&A.
All right, thanks, Sid. Thanks for running through that. And guys, I'm going to be, as I present, feel free to leave any questions that you guys have coming up, whether it's around Deliverr, whether it's around Walmart, whether it's around selling strategies. We can kind of get into the depths around that. And then also, if you have questions around Deliverr too, and you want to learn more about it, you can go and live chat right now on our website and talk to someone, on our sales team, or you can email info@Deliverr. It's kind of up to you guys how you want to approach it. So anyway, going into the Deliverr side, Sid kind of ran through, okay, if you're self-fulfilling, here are all the different steps, and kind of think of like, okay, self-fulfilling on Walmart for the 2-day program is kind of similar to SFP if you're similar to those, and if you do SFP on your own. And then we have the Deliverr option. And the way to think about Deliverr is like, okay, I want to use FBA. And it's kind of like that FBA alternative to sell on Walmart. And it provides a lot of the same benefits that FBA provides for Amazon. And it's almost like that FBA-like service for Walmart, if that's a way to kind of think about it. So when you saw all the steps that Walmart ran through, or that Sid ran through, all these steps are covered by Deliverr. So the steps around eligibility, you get pre-approved access. The steps around requesting access, already pre-approved, configuring settings, all that's done on the back end. And so think about that relationship between FBA and Amazon Prime, very similar to the way that Deliverr interacts with Walmart. So all that stuff's automatically done, so it's super, super easy for you guys to do this. And then the last part is just managing orders, tracking performance, all those components. So we took all those different steps that you look at, and we basically abstracted them away and turned it into just 3 really easy steps. Number 1 is connecting Deliverr to Walmart. We provide a lot of different ways to do this. We can run through that in depth. If you have questions, I've already seen questions about Channel Advisor on this thread. You have questions about Seller Cloud, which we just launched literally like yesterday or 2 days ago, or any of the other listing tools, or our direct integration with Walmart. We can talk about that, talk through that. This is kind of that open forum to do that. Number 2 is sending inventory to Deliverr. If you have questions around sending inventory to Deliverr, what the barcoding requirements are, how many warehouses you're going to send to, all that kind of stuff, we can talk around that. We can talk through that and make sure that you're really, really clear on that. Last part is around opting into Walmart 2-day and Deliverr portal. This is really important. You're going to have a section in your Deliverr account that says fast tags. Click on that. Go to opt in on the Walmart into Walmart Seller Central, and everything works automated from there. Just make sure you do that, and everything will be pre-approved and go very smoothly. And then, of course, these steps only apply to the Deliverr sellers. If you're self-fulfilling Walmart 2-day orders, you go through an entirely different process that Sid mentioned earlier. And we can walk through each of the different processes more in depth. So going through integrations, we have a lot of different ways you can connect Deliverr into Walmart. If you want to do direct integration, you can, but if you do the direct integration, you have to move over all of your SKUs on Walmart into Deliverr if you do the direct integration with Walmart. Or if you want to just do part of your catalog and do it that way, you can go through Sellbrite, Seller Active, Geek Seller. These are really 3 popular options. And then we have Sendtail, Channel Advisor, and then we literally just launched Seller Cloud. And then we're getting into, we'll be having Shibana really, really soon, and there'll be an announcement around that. If you guys want to learn more, here are a bunch of helpful links. And here are the links in terms of self-fulfillment are essentially like the first 2, and then for Deliverr, the bottom 2. We have a cost calculator online, so you can just put in an ASIN, it'll tell you exactly what the cost is to fulfill. Our pricing also, if you have questions around that. And I think without further ado, let's get into it. So we'll basically have 45 minutes of questions, and you can do that on the right and try to leave as many questions as you can. And also, if you guys want to talk about selling strategies and stuff, that's also a good forum to talk about this. We've gotten into that pretty in depth before. So Sid, do you want to get into the first question?
Sure, let me take a look. So one of the questions, I think this might be, what if I have, let me see. What if I have items bigger than the size limit? So Mike, do you want to take that one?
So size limits, yes, we provide our product dimensional requirements on our help center. So if you go to support.deliverr.com help center and you go to product dimensional requirements, it's in the inbound section. I'll just read it out really quick. All inbound products must meet the following requirements: longest side 26 inches or less, median side 19 inches or less, shortest side 15 inches or less, weight 32 pounds or less. That is what it is today if you inbound. That is going to be changing over the next 60 days. So I'm not going to say any more than that. It is going to be changing. We are going to be expanding that, but right now that is those are the existing product restrictions if you were to inbound as of today.
Okay, thanks, Michael. And so here's another one. This goes back to what I mentioned earlier. So this is more for folks on the Walmart side. Can we qualify by being on the marketplace for 90 days and selling 100 orders? Which one is it, one or the other? So it's whichever one comes first. So if you hit 100 orders first, then you qualify that way. Or if not, then we look at your performance over the last 90 days. So, and also just to reiterate, if you're integrating through Deliverr and coming in that way, then you get instant access because Deliverr is already pre-vetted in terms of their overall performance.
Really good question here from Adam, and something we've talked about in previous Q&As. Is pricing or offering 2-day shipping weighted more by Walmart? Can a seller with a slightly higher price with 2-day shipping win a buy box from a seller with a lower price without 2-day shipping? And that's a fantastic question. And if you think about it on Amazon, if you were to have Prime on your listing and you're a little bit higher on price versus a seller who doesn't have Prime and is a little bit lower price, in certain scenarios, Amazon will tip the buy box towards you. And you kind of see something similar on the Walmart side. Now, it's not always true though. It depends. Now, you definitely know if you match on price and you have 2-day shipping versus the other seller who doesn't have 2-day shipping, it'll move to you, given that your reviews are okay. But if you're a little bit higher on price, there's a delta. And within that delta, it will still hold, you'll still be able to hold a buy box, but it does change. It varies by vertical, and it's something that, the Walmart team will change based on the different vertical it is. So you kind of have to test it out. I think that's the biggest thing. Test out different prices, different pricing strategies, and see at what point, do you have a buy box and at what point you don't. That's the easiest way to understand that, and you'll understand it very, very quickly. There's a really great tool. Seller Active here on this slide has an incredible repricer, and they do it for Walmart, and it's a really great component to see, okay, at what delta can you continue to win the buy box if you're doing 2-day shipping. Question here from Sam. I believe there's no monthly fee to be a member of Deliverr. And then the second question was, is shipping, inventory, Deliverr cost effective like FBA? Okay, two great questions. Number one is that there is no monthly fee to be a member of Deliverr. There's no account fee. There's no integration fee. There's only 2 fees. Number one is there's a fulfillment fee, and number 2 is there's a storage fee. And the storage fee is monthly, but it's, it should be pretty nominal. And in terms of our storage rates, they're 75 cents per cubic foot per month. So if you were to average out FBA's monthly storage fees, they'll kind of come out to 80, 90 cents per cubic foot per month. So we're going to be more cost effective there. We also don't surge on storage costs. So FBA has that surge when you see between October and December. We do not do that on the Deliverr end. So it is a flat storage rate throughout the year. So that's something to definitely think about once you start making your aggressive inventory positions back in the summer. The second question was shipping inventory into Deliverr. Is it cost effective? Now let me see in this presentation if we had a picture of the inbound screen to Deliverr. I'm running through it real fast. So right here, you can see the inbound process. So here you're selecting products, and you're basically saying, of these SKUs and these units, this is what I want to send to Deliverr. Second screen, you can see where you're sending to. You will have to send to 4 or less locations. So it can be 4, it can be 3. We test it out, we change it depending on what our capacity is looking like. And you have to complete shipments to all the different locations. And what you can do is that you can ship inventory into Deliverr on your own rates or on Deliverr's rates. We have discounted rates across FedEx, USPS, UPS, and do provide those different options. They tend to be around 40% off discounted retail rates. For a rule of thumb for Amazon, when you're shipping inbound to FBA, those tend to be around 60%. So it's not as cost effective as inbounding into the FBA, but it can be helpful. And you can get close. Additionally, we do have a one warehouse program for some of our largest merchants. It will be rolling out to the entire seller base soon. But for some of our really large merchants, they're able to inbound to one location. For those merchants, they typically are doing over 100 orders a day.
Awesome. So we have another question. How do I opt into the program? So let me just go back here in our slides real quick. So this is for folks, I think, that are coming in through Walmart. So if you go under Seller Center, under General Settings and Shipping Settings, you'll see an option to request access to the 2-day shipping program. And you can just click on that, and within 24 to 48 hours, one of our associates will look at all your metrics and performance. And then when you log back in, you'll be able to see whether or not you've qualified or not. In case you don't, you can look at the Ship with Deliver option number 2, where you can go directly and sign up via Deliverr for the program.
Really good question by Adam. How many fulfillment centers does Deliverr currently have? Where are they located? That is probably the #1 question I get with Deliverr, and it is a very hard question to answer because the Deliverr network is very unique in that we don't own any of the warehouses. We lease space in different warehouses. And so think of Deliverr like an Uber-like network of warehouses. That being said, pricing, customer service, all that stuff is handled through Deliverr. But on the back end, our network is constantly changing. It's evolving, it's growing. We have a lot of different locations across the United States. I'll read off just a few real fast so you at least can see that. #1 is, we have Fresno, we have multiple in Los Angeles, we have Dallas, Texas, we have up in St. Louis, Missouri, we have South Dakota, then now moving more towards the east, we have multiple in Pennsylvania, 2 to 3 in Pennsylvania, and we're opening more, 1 in Nevada, 1 in Virginia, and constantly expanding that the existing footprint. So, good question from Darush. We're in Amazon. We're generating a sale around 50 a day on this item in Walmart. But last year it stopped in the past 6 months. It's taken down. What can we do to make it better? I think there's a lot of different things. And when a seller comes into Deliverr, we kind of give them the Deliverr playbook. And the Deliverr playbook for Walmart are a few things. And this is regardless of whether you're using Deliverr or not using Deliverr. We want you guys to have kind of access to the best information on how to sell in Walmart. #1 is you want fast shipping. So you want free 2-day shipping. Whether you can do that yourself or you can do that through Deliverr, you should make that decision. And you want it to be national coverage. You want all buyers to see that fast tag. Think about with Amazon, most of the sellers are using FBA because you really want Prime on all of your items and you want 100% coverage of Prime. It's just critical to selling and succeeding on Amazon. Think that way for Walmart. It's very similar that way. That's #1. #2 is that you want to do review optimization. So we have a discount with Bazaar Voice, which really helps you get more and more reviews on your listings. That's a huge piece, huge component. #3 is you want to start advertising your listings. So one really great component around Deliverr is that you get access to the Walmart Performance Ads product. I don't know if we have a image here, Sid. I'm running through and see if we have an ads image. Yes, so you get access to Walmart Performance Ads. Every Deliverr seller does. It's really cool. You get this big kind of like red, maroon type badge on your listings. Huge way, especially if you're launching a new product. Last thing I would say is enhanced content. So we have a special relationship with Rich Context to provide discount for Deliverr sellers to provide enhanced content. So you need all these different things: fast shipping, enhanced content, better reviews, and running ads on those listings. When you do all those 4, you start seeing this flywheel effect where your listing starts to rank higher in search. You start indexing higher and you start improving sales. And we have some case studies on the Deliverr side where we literally show you, like we have one with Earthwise Bags where we show you day 1, this is how many orders he did. Day 2, this is how many orders he did. Day 3, this is how many, or month 3, this is how many orders he did. And you can kind of see as he added all these different components, it really improved the visibility of his listings. And as he got more visible on these big searches, you really saw, volume tick up.
Okay. Good question from Chris, just in terms of using the platform. So how can I look at my 90-day metrics? So you have the ability to do that under Fulfillment Insights and Seller Center. So over there, you can see kind of your metrics for OTD, OTS, and all the other KPIs that we mentioned earlier. And you will also, in addition to this, get periodic emails from the performance team here at Walmart. So they'll be monitoring your performance closely, and they'll give you updates in terms of how you're doing. And in case you fall below any of the standards, you will kind of get a notification from them in terms of what you can do to improve that performance. Okay. Let's see.
Quick question. A few questions here. Number one is, does Deliverr have plans to offer LTL on discounted rates? It is on the roadmap. I'm hoping we can get that out to you before Q4. For now, the first program that we are going to release before that is the ability to send to one warehouse, and then we reallocate. For certain merchants, they'll get free reallocation. For others, we charge you like a per unit fee for the reallocation. So we're working on that. Another question came in: can I use on the same pool of inventory and Deliverr that I'm using for Walmart 2-day? Can I use it for Amazon Seller Fulfilled Prime or eBay Guaranteed Delivery? Yes, you can. Right now for eBay Guaranteed Delivery, we are live with that, and then for Seller Fulfilled Prime, we're rolling that out this week, and it will continue to be rolled out over subsequent weeks. And I think that really creates a lot of efficiency for the merchant. So for you guys, you can just put everything in one system, and you can get all these really cool programs across all these awesome marketplaces. So I hope that answers that question there.
Mike, there's another question on there. Who picks where the stuff gets shipped to?
We do. Yeah, so we do. Similar to like FBA, they do. So why do we do that, right? The biggest reason is that, we give you fixed rate costs. And so we say, okay, for this item, let's say it's an iPhone case, it costs $5.20 shipping across the country, and for nationwide coverage of that iPhone case. And so because you're paying a fixed rate, or we're charging you a fixed rate, we need to make sure that that inventory is located close to buyers. And so when inventory is located close to buyers, this model makes sense. And so you need to make sure that you're following the shipping plan as is. If you don't, then there would be a reallocation fee to make sure things are balanced. And but as long as you follow the shipping plan, you will get national coverage on these badges. So just make sure to follow that as it describes. Just follow the instructions, and you'll be fine.
Thanks, Michael. So there's a question from Roshan. I believe that shipping the inventory against the SKU we have in Deliverr, which is the same as 2-day Walmart, comes up automatically for listings Walmart. So yep, it shows up the same way, whichever option you choose.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. Questions around two others. Are there restrictions to ship aerosols to Deliverr? And then another question that I kind of missed. Is there restrictions on lithium-ion batteries? So lithium-ion batteries, unfortunately, we do not take items with batteries. We are expanding that. So again, like we talked about with product dimensional requirements, if you were to ship day one, like right now, we would say, okay, you cannot send lithium-ion batteries. It is going to be evolving. We're starting to pilot lithium-ion battery programs with a few different merchants, but we're being careful about it. We're kind of rolling it out. I think over the summer, you'll see more and more announcements of that, and existing Deliverr merchants might get into the program or might get contacted about it. But right now, as a generic policy, we do not take items with lithium batteries. Same thing with aerosols. I think aerosols will probably do after lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries is a really big one that we really want to do, because we have so many electronic sellers that we want to enable for Q4. So our goal is for Q4. It should be green lit, but we'll keep you posted on that. And I just want to be as clear and as honest as I can.
So Michael, two other questions came through. One is on coverage. Do we get coverage for packages that are lost and damaged in transit, from Bob? And then the other question is about returns on the
Okay. All right, so I'll go with number one, and then I'll do number two. So on number one, it's a similar policy to FBA. So the way we do it is that if an item gets damaged in transit, what we do is we file a claim with the carrier. We ask for the cost of your good, and if the carrier reimburses us, we'd pass that cost on to the merchant. And a way you can hold us accountable, and for certain merchants, if you have like higher value items and you're like, okay, I want to make sure that Deliverr is actually filing these claims and getting reimbursement there. If you can let our support team know on your own when you ship with FedEx or UPS or whatever the carrier it is, what your claim success rate is, and if you're saying, okay, 80% of the claims I have with FedEx, I get reimbursed, let us know what that is, and as that benchmark, and that can be our SLA to you. And so when we file claims with FedEx, we should be above that or at least equal with that, because we have very large accounts with all the different carriers. And we have very established claim processes, and it kind of goes through an entire system, automated system. And so let us know what it is doing it yourself, so that way you can hold us accountable. We obviously try our best to get those reimbursements, and when we do, we'll reimburse our cost. We will verify that the cost that you provide us is accurate. So please be as honest as you can, with the cost of good when you do see those damages. We do something similar on the warehouse side. So something gets damaged at the warehouse, and we'd file a claim with the warehouse. We'd ask that, and then if they reimburse us, we'd reimburse you. So, those are the biggest components. Second question was returns, right? So returns we're working on. It's one of those things that we have certain sellers in pilot on the Deliverr return system. It's not yet available to all sellers. I'm thinking probably around the summertime, so probably midsummer is when it will become available. Not yet, though. I think the first thing that we're working on is this single warehouse inbound program, and then returns will kind of flow after that.
Great, thanks. So, a question from Aaron: with the push for shipping to be an integral part of Walmart.com, should we be expecting an integrated shipping within the seller portal? So this is something that's being worked on right now, and the 2-day program and access to that within Seller Center was the first step. So we're continuing to work on that, and we'll keep you all updated.
Yeah, and I think on the Deliverr side, we're trying to make it as seamless as possible to get up and running between Deliverr and Walmart. And so have some really cool stuff in terms of opting into Deliverr and seeing that reflected in your Walmart Seller Central. I think there'll be updates around that. So I think that'll be really fun. Let's see, we have other questions. Can I send on my own rates into Deliverr? Yes, you can. So if you have really good LTL rates, or if you want to send FTL, we have some of our really large merchants are sending full trucks now because their Walmart volume has kind of reached that level where it justifies FTLs. They do that on their own rates. They send it into the Deliverr network. For really, really large merchants, like I'm talking about like our top 10 merchants, we might even pick up inventory from them. But it's really, that kind of is once you get to a certain level in terms of volume where it justifies doing that. But yeah, you can ship on your own rates and Deliverr LTL or small parcel. So question here on performance, which I think is a big one. Will I be docked? So if Deliverr has late deliveries, will I be docked on the performance end? So today, it will not affect your score. However, you will see in your seller account, if we do have late deliveries, that that would be reflected, but it doesn't actually result in an account suspension. So for using Deliverr, there won't be any account suspension or anything like that. We're working really hard on streamlining this process, making it very easy to understand, and also making it very clear what are Deliverr's metrics versus what are your own metrics. We're not there yet. We're working towards it. I think in the next few weeks, you'll see updates there. So yeah.
Okay. So there's a question here from James. When you say fulfillment within 2 days, does that include delivery, or do you actually have 3 days for delivery? So the way that works is if you receive an order before the cutoff time, which is 2 p.m. local time, then the SLA is within 2 days. But if it's after that point, then it's 3 days. And that's 3 business days, not including the weekends or holidays either.
Question here again, is the pricing a monthly subscription, or is it based on individual SKU? It's based on individual SKU. There's no monthly subscription cost or anything like that. There's no SKU limitation too. So we have some merchants with thousands of SKUs and they like doing that. The one thing is at a SKU level, you do have to send a minimum number of units just so that we can get it across the 4 warehouses. Right now that minimum is 10, but we are going to be bringing that minimum down pretty soon. And so I can let you guys know when that becomes available.
Okay, there's a question around, do I have to set the shipping one by one at the SKU level? So you have the option to either enable all your SKUs, and let me actually just hop over to that slide. So there's three options on there. You can either enable your entire assortment, most of your catalog, or if you have a handful of SKUs that you want to put in, you can customize it at the SKU level. You can do that using the ship settings, and then enable it by that way. So as you can see, there's a couple of different options, and depending on how many SKUs you have and what you're trying to do, there's a couple of different options. And then there's another question, what's the universal cutoff? It's 2 p.m. local time. So thanks, Elise, for asking that question, and that's across the board right now.
For Deliverr, it's 2 p.m. Eastern time, not to make it too confusing. But for Deliverr, we ask you specify 2 p.m. Eastern time just so it's a network-wide rate. But
Yep.
if you're self-fulfilling, it's local time.
Thanks, Michael.
Let's see. Keep putting in your questions. I think we're can do a few more. We've got plenty of time.
So another question just on clarifying about shipping times. So if you receive an order that has to be shipped today, and it does not have to be delivered until next Monday. So basically the exception there is if you receive an order on Friday after 2 p.m., which is a cutoff time, then you can ship that out on Monday. Michael, do you see anything good on your side?
No, I mean, I think these are most of them. Any questions on the ads platform? I can talk about that. So, I mean, on the ad side, there's no, every Deliverr seller gets access to the Walmart ads platform. It's called WPA. I think it stands for Walmart Performance Ads.
Yep.
And essentially what you do today is that you put a budget on a SKU and you say, okay, I want to put this amount of spend on this SKU. And then it will basically go and figure out what keywords to bid on. And so, I mean, it's pretty helpful that way. For our merchants also, we're working with Quartile, which is an ad agency that can help run this for you too. So you do get a lot of kind of goes back into that Deliverr Walmart ecosystem of services, which can help. But if you have more questions around that, okay, so like where to go. So you'll be contacted by the Walmart team after you go live on Deliverr. So when you go live on Deliverr, then a week later, around that, maybe a few days now, it's pretty fast now, you'll get contacted from the Walmart team giving you an access code to your Walmart ads login.
Yep, thanks, Michael. And just to clarify, that's right now exclusively available through the partnership with Deliverr. The program is not available to all 3P sellers yet, so we're in the process of rolling that out. So coming in through Deliverr, you get early access to that.
Yeah. So
and
Tom,
like mentioned, it's usually within usually by the time you're up and running on Deliverr, you'll have access to the WPA on the site as well.
So Thomas asked a question about the storage fee, 80 to 90 cents. Is that per item? Great question. It is not per item. It's per cubic foot per month. So if you were to look at, go to the cost calculator, put it in ASIN, and if you were to put in like an iPhone case, it's some fraction of a cubic foot. And so 75 cents per cubic foot per month. It's the same way, should be almost identical to the way that FBA charges storage. So it's not 75 cents per item, it's per cubic foot.
Just looking through the questions on my side, seeing if there's anything else good.
Around support, contacting support for Deliverr, the way you do that is when you get a Deliverr account, there's a button on the left that says talk to support, and you just click that and it would ask you to file a form. Typically we reply within a few hours, so it's actually quite quick in terms of our response times to different issues. Definitely specify which type of issue. If it's an order issue, those will go the fastest response times just because those are the most intense. And then versus a configuration issue or something more long-term, general questions. So definitely use that form, follow that link, and then that way you can talk to our support team.
Okay, and there's a question here around items and setting the the lag time to 1 in order to exclude items. Yes, you can do this, but you should definitely specifically use the lag time feed in order to make this update.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, guys? We could probably do another 5 minutes. If there's anything else that comes up, getting started questions, strategy questions, anything like that, let me know.
There's a question about replay. We will make the recording available to all the attendees, and we'll share that link as well for folks that want to get that. And then there's another question that just popped in. How do I find out if I'm eligible in Seller Center? So on there, if you look at the screen right now, so once you go and request access, if you come back in and check back under shipping settings, you'll get an approved or denial message over here, and you can use that to move forward. In case you are denied access, you can reapply again in 2 weeks after you've had a chance to improve your metrics, and we'll reevaluate you at that time.
So Adam asked, I have variation listing offering a single pack and a 2-pack, and a customer orders 2 singles instead of clicking on a 2-pack. Is there a way to reroute so we can avoid the double pick fee? As of today, unfortunately, you cannot. That's something, with Deliverr for 2-pack and for single pack, they have to come pre-kitted, similar to like FBA. But what some of the listing tools are starting to work on, which is actually kind of interesting, is this idea around virtual kitting. So we get the order from the listing tool, right? And I know Geek Seller is working on this, and Ecom Dash, a company that we're about to launch an integration with, they have this as well, where essentially you can create kind of these virtual kits as listings in Walmart, and then they kind of filter down to orders of like 2 units and Deliverr or something like that. And it's kind of interesting in how they're setting it up. So I need to learn more about how they're running their kitting options, like the different listing tools are, and see if that would kind of help solve the question that you have. But as of today, unfortunately, what would happen is, you would order in and you'd get a 2-unit order of that single pack under that, under the example that you provided. Questions around, where do I see my order information, my inventory information? You can actually see it in either Walmart Seller Central or Deliverr. It kind of depends how you're integrated. If you're running this through Channel Advisor, you're running this through Zentel, you would see all that in Zentel in addition to Walmart and Deliverr. It really just kind of depends, but pretty much any software you're looking at, you should see the inventory. You should see inventory information. You should see order information. The information that you'd see in Deliverr that you don't see in Walmart would be essentially where your inventory is located. You'd only see that in Deliverr, and billing information, obviously for Deliverr, you'd only see. One other thing that we let you know is that we tell you how much time you have until you lose the badge, and we show you sales velocity and kind of give you an idea. Hey, I'm running low on stock. I should replenish soon.
All right, thanks, Michael. It looks like we're caught up on most of the questions for right now, and some of you should be seeing answers. We're responding to some of the questions to you directly on the chat. So,
yeah. One question just came in on how do I prep inventory for Deliverr. We have docs in terms of how to prep it, in terms of bubble wrapping, taping, all that kind of information. If you have additional questions around that, you can always contact support, or you can look at some of the videos. In terms of a general rule of thumb, what you do is, you want to prep items similar to the way you prep for FBA. So we have certain barcode requirements. We say, you need to have either a Deliverr barcode, an Amazon barcode, or UPC. We require box level information. So, carton level information in terms of, okay, putting on the outside of each master carton what's in each box. So that's very similar to the Amazon box labels. We basically mirrored that because it's really helpful for the warehouses to see that information. So those would be the basic, prep and kind of inventory questions. There should be videos on all of that along with images.
So this is a good question on should I enable all 48 states? So the answer to that one is yes. If you have the ability to ship nationwide and meet these SLAs, then from a performance standpoint and winning the buy box, you do show up higher when you have nationwide enabled instead of just a few regions.
Question here, do FTL shipments have to be palletized? I would hope so. Those are, since they tend to be pretty large, I definitely recommend palletizing that. I would have to check with operations if it's a hard requirement that it has to be palletized, or if you could just have an FTL and it's all just, boxes or master cartons in there. I'd have to ask that. But that is a great question. Just so far, every time someone has sent an FTL, it has been palletized. So we've never really run into that issue before. So turnaround time for deliver process inbound shipments and inventory to show live on Walmart. So those are actually two different components. Number one is turnaround time for deliver process inbound shipments. As long as you are compliant and given barcodes are good and the master carton labels are accurate, right, and you follow all the steps, it should be 2 business days. That being said, I've seen it be faster than that. But it really kind of depends on which warehouse you're sending to, how much volume that warehouse is getting. But it should be 2 business days. If you see anything longer than that, please contact support. Contact us, let us know, and we'll let you know if anything came in non-compliant. And the other component is how fast does it take after something comes into inventory and we get that inventory, how long until we display those inventory counts up to Walmart? That takes some time. And so that's actually real time, sorry. And so the moment we get the inventory in and inventory is received, we're gonna push an inventory update to Walmart. And so it should be within a few minutes. And then in terms of updating the badge, how long that takes, usually it would be within 30 minutes. Sometimes it can take it could take up to 24 hours. If it's been 24 hours and you still don't see a badge on your listing, absolutely contact support. We have a really quick way of resolving those tickets with the Walmart team.
And speaking about support, there's another question asking for Walmart support. If in case you have any questions with the setup or any of those questions about your inventory, please just open a support ticket and then someone from the team will respond and help you through the process.
Question from Allison, are we able to send case packs? Let me see if I can give you the screen where it shows that. Yes, you can. It's really common. A lot of our private label guys send case packs. And so here, so it says pack your products, and you can kind of see it. It's kind of small, but it says pack your products individually or by case. You check by case. Now this is actually, today it's a drop down, but that should be easy. Question here on removing inventory from Deliverr. That's a huge thing, and that's something that fundamentally we want to make it really easy for you to remove inventory. So there's a per unit charge. It's very similar to the way that FBA charges removals. And we understand, this is a new channel for you guys, for a lot of you guys, and you're not sure, you're going to try out new items. You're not sure which ones, how they're going to do on 2-day and which ones are going to do well, which ones aren't. And, there's going to be products you're going to send in that, really just don't catch on and don't do well. And you're going to want to remove that. And there's going to be other products you send in that do fantastic. And we want to enable a playground for you to try this out and for you to try different items and iterate and test. And so anyway, those would be the removal costs. You can find our full cost structure in our help center. If you just look at simple questions, what are Deliverr's fees? We list not only what the costs are for removals, but literally any penalty fee that you could get, we have that mirrored out. So like for the strangest penalties and strangest things that could happen, if there's any penalty fee for whatever, you can see those. So you can, make sure that you're following the instructions and, doing everything according to plan.
Okay, I think we've cleared through our queue on this side. Oh wait, another question just came in.
Yeah, so we have questions here on temperature control. Right now, we do not offer temperature control. Again, as we get into kind of like this whole component around batteries and hazmat, like as we start easing into that, temperature control will follow. And, it's just not something we have yet. In terms of products with expiration dates, you can send in products with expiration dates. A lot of products in Deliverr have expiration dates. However, similar to FBA, we don't manage those expiration dates. You're responsible for the management of those expiration dates. So we're not going to tell you when an item is expired or not. You have to tell us, and you have to tell us to dispose of that inventory as soon as possible. And so that's kind of the distinction. You can definitely send in items with expiration dates, but just know you're responsible for managing those expiration dates. If a buyer gets an item that's expired, that is your responsibility. That is not Deliverr's responsibility. So questions around, reimbursements for damages. Again, we file a claim for the warehouse. If they reimburse us, we reimburse you. It's usually very clear in terms of, who is at fault for a damaged item or a lost item. And so, there's certain cases where things might be more opaque, and that's where they require longer threads, but that would be a support ticket to our team. They'd review that. And if you're very nervous on the reimbursement side, or if you want something very, you don't want to go through the claims process or something like that, some of our really large merchants have third-party insurance. So, and that's been really popular. They love it, where, now they don't even have to file support tickets because they have their own insurance program. So, we provide reports in terms of any, movements in inventory. So if you see anything go down in inventory, you can see an Excel spreadsheet that basically tells you, what date it happened and kind of, what the movement looked like for which SKUs. And so that can be very helpful as well. And so what some of our really large merchants do is they get that and then they give that to their insurance provider. And that's how it works. Is the per item pick fee a set price? So on Adam's end, it's actually, we don't have pick fees. There's just a fulfillment fee. And that fulfillment fee is per unit. As you get multiple units, that fulfillment fee, it depends which channel, but in certain channels it discounts. And so, but everything is at a per unit basis. So there's a fulfillment fee and a storage fee, and they're both at per unit. There's no other charges outside of that, unless you want to, ship inbound to deliver, on deliver rates, or you want to remove inventory, things like that. But in terms of the core offering, there's just fulfillment, just storage.
Question on, is there a limit on the number of times you can apply for the 2-day shipping program? There isn't. The only thing that you have to note is there's, you have to wait 2 weeks before applying again. Basically, the idea there is we want to give you a chance to bring your metrics up. And then once you are able to do that, we'll evaluate you. And if you're unable to do that, this might be a good opportunity to actually consider partnership with someone such as Deliverr, where they're already pre-vetted and they are able to meet all those requirements on your behalf.
Yeah, I think Sid touched on a big piece. It doesn't really matter what your existing stock performance metrics are to use Deliverr. And because we offload all the fulfillment components, Walmart knows that, and so that's how you get that pre-approval, and you don't have to go through the rigorous testing if you want to do self-fulfillment. So it's kind of like the distinction between using SFP or using FBA for Amazon. And that's kind of the thinking, the way you should think about this when you're looking at these two different programs.
Yep. And one thing that I can just chime in as well is that sellers are able to try both out. So if you come in through one of the partners, then you can try a few SKUs on Deliverr and then try to fulfill yourself on Walmart on the other side. And depending on which one performs better, you have the ability to choose how to move forward.
Yeah, if you're doing that, though, you have to use one of the integration tools. Don't use the Walmart direct integration, because if you use the Deliverr Walmart direct integration, you have to move all SKUs over to Deliverr. That's just the way it is today. It will change, but there's just certain technical limitations to that integration right now. When it changes, though, at least if we do this today and you want to self-fulfill some stuff, you'd have to go through like a channel advisor or a Sellbrite or a Geek Seller. There's a lot of different ones. We're adding a bunch really every week at this point. So just make sure you do that. If you have questions around that, contact us, live chat us, whatever you need, and we'll point you in the right direction. And
the ability to split your inventory when you integrate directly with Deliverr is something on our roadmap, and we are working towards that. So stay in tune for updates from the Walmart side on that.
Yeah, so Sam asked a really good question. I mean, when using Deliverr, will the cost of fulfillment and Walmart commission be separately calculated? And that is accurate. So you have the Walmart referral fee, and then on top of that, you have the Deliverr fulfillment fee. It actually is the same. If you're selling on Amazon, you have the Amazon referral fee, and then you have the Amazon fulfillment fee. And so it's in the same section. The difference is that you get billed differently. So you get billed by Walmart, for the referral fee, and then you get billed by Deliverr for the fulfillment fee. And obviously, we're well aware of the cost to sell on Walmart through this program. The Deliverr Walmart rates, I don't know if we have a picture of them here. are really, really competitive. These are our best rates across any channel. And this is because Walmart is just an incredible partner and just really goes above and beyond to give a great experience to their sellers. So we're working on it. We're always trying to bring these down. I mean, we are on a mission for you guys to get a really low cost of selling on Walmart, because in the end, I mean, from our point of view, from Walmart's point of view, we want to have the best prices on Walmart with fast shipping, right? And so we're working on it. You know, these are the rates we have right now. They are the best in the Deliverr network. If you're looking across any channel, better than our eBay rates, better than our SFP rates. So, they're really amazing, but we're obviously going to be working on bringing those down even further. Certain items may work with this cost structure, other items may not. So please do that beforehand. So look at our cost calculator. When you create an account, look at cost previews for all your items, understand your costs before you send inventory. That would be a big kind of recommendation I have. Sometimes merchants just, send inventory in, don't look at their costs, and then get very surprised when they see certain pricing. And if you have any questions, just ask. Always ask. We're more than happy to answer exactly what the cost would be fulfilling on Deliverr if you have further questions beyond what you can see in either our cost calculator and our cost previews in the seller account. If items are more than Deliverr's designated dimensions, we send it back to you. So we just don't have bin space that could take it. And so, that's the component. And a question here, can I ship into Deliverr on my own UPS rates? Yes, you can. You can ship inventory into Deliverr on your own discounted rates. It's very popular. I'd say probably half our merchants do it that way. But in terms of shipping to buyers, Deliverr will, that all ships on Deliverr accounts, because we're using a lot of different carriers. We're doing a lot of different methods, doing a lot of cool things there. So I hope that kind of that distinguishes the two. And so, guys, we have around, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes left. So if you have last questions, dying questions, things you want to get out of the way with, here's the time to talk about it, because we basically do one of these a month.
There's a question around expediting, Michael, around whether you do next day or overnight as well.
Oh, yeah, we do. If you're interested in that, I think one of the components, though, with the 2-day shipping program, and I'm not sure if Sid talked about it, when you have the badge, it only shows 2-day shipping as an option. It doesn't show next day as an option. It's a bit unfortunate. It's just kind of the way it is right now, the way the Walmart system is. But if you wanted to offer next day shipping on Deliverr through any channel, you're more than welcome to do that. We have next day rates. So in terms of, people asking, okay, like what service levels does Deliverr use? And it really depends. We could use ground, we could use air, we could use a combination, doing a lot of different, methods. Our promise to you is that it will get there in 2 days and you will always pay the same rate. So that protein powder that you can see here, it's going to be $7.20 anywhere in contiguous United States. That includes shipping, includes pick pack, includes order handling, all that kind of stuff is baked into that one rate. And it really kind of gives you that that confidence that, okay, when I sell this protein powder, it's $7.20 selling on fulfilled by Deliverr, and then here's my referral rate from Walmart is X. Here's what I'm pricing at. I know exactly how aggressive I can get on price. And then you should also start thinking about, okay, if I want to do a little bit of ads behind it, because especially if you're new, you want to put some ad spend behind these items.
So one question I saw come across twice is, it's a question about this being free 2-day shipping, but it says that the seller is still expected to pay for that. So it's free for the buyers, and the idea here is that by taking advantage of that, you get more visibility and the ability to generate that additional lift by providing free 2-day shipping to the buyers, basically. So kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, you get a more additional lift, win the buy box. And with the combination of that and also access to Walmart performance ad, that whole flywheel effect enables additional lift and sales on your part.
And then questions: which rates do I pay for across the cost calculator? The Walmart 2-day rates. So we have a lot of different service levels for the different channels. right? So these orders map to our Walmart 2-day rates. Be very clear to look at that. Access to WPA is actually an account level. It's not just SKUs and Deliver. I do recommend that if you want to get the most punch out of WPA, you should have campaigns on all of your items in Deliver, just because they already, when you add that 2-day badge to them, they carry a lot more weight from an indexing standpoint. So you should definitely run it, but you can run it on other items if you want. But,
yep, and it's also a great way to test kind of the efficacy of the program and for how items are ramping. So
yeah.
That's definitely something that we've seen, and some of these case studies that Michael has in the presentation, yep, like the one up here, definitely.
Yeah, this one was Equinox. These guys were really aggressive on ad spend, did really well, and they have a huge catalog. And for them, for Equinox, they were able to test out items very rapidly, and they basically ran them through like 2-week processes. So they'd send in new SKUs, run it for 2 weeks, max out their ads budget really, and then put it on 2-day, did the reviews optimization, did the enhanced content, and then, either, let's say a few would work, like kitchen towels worked, and then some other items didn't work. So then they're like, okay, let's find other kitchen towels. And then every 2 weeks they're iterating, optimizing. And they did this basically all the way from, I think they started it in December, and now we're in April, and they've really kind of expanded their selection that way.
All right, I think that's about it. Michael, if there's nothing else, I think this is a good point to wrap. We're like right at,
yeah,
right
I
at
mean,
the
I
hour.
think, we're right at the end. Thanks guys for all your questions. We try to do these as much as we can. And so usually do it around once or twice a month. And so we'll probably have one next month in May. And then of course, if you have further questions, here's where to go to. Absolutely talk to Deliverr if you have questions. You can live chat us right now, or you can email us at info@deliverr.com, up to you guys, or chat with support if you're already live merchants. Looks like a lot of these merchants are already live on Deliverr. So yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you out there on 2-day shipping.
Thanks everyone. And kind of as Michael mentioned, this is a great platform to bring out your questions, and we will continue to update you on enhancements to the program and other new features that we're launching on both sides. And as Michael mentioned, they're always adding new solution providers as well. So it's a good way to just stay up to date on the latest and greatest on the 2-day program.
And we listen to your feedback, by the way. A lot of the questions you asked, are a lot of things that we're working on with Walmart. We're super attentive. We hear you guys. And so that's why we love this as a forum to check in with everyone.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone.
I would also add that our seller help site has lots of answers to additional questions, and we'll be adding to that content from things people have asked here today. So thanks, everyone.